Lefty wouldn't say, but he wouldn't say whether it's being recorded or not, but yeah, I just wanted to say that, it was really, oh, by the way, Sue, thanks for the Substack pickup. And I love the picture because it showed the entire act.
All of them?
So just step back, I'm mad that when I come down strapped, I thought you was my piece, but you play me out now. I'm mad as hell and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, hey, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Machine, what people say they stay.
Suck my dick because hold on, I can't say that's a banana me part. Stop! No! No! Shocking balls. All right. Yeah, Mikey said shocking. You can't say that no more. That's your name. No, it's Gina. We're trying to be nice. What's happening? No, you're trying to be nice. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Say it again. Say it again. Okay.
Wayne, go.
Yeah, you can't when you don't understand. You ever put your hand on a fence? Just shocking you. I can't think.
You ever whiz on the electric fence?
Turn it on. The other way. It's the other way.
No, you're pulling. All day, would we all be laughing?
This isn't a laughing matter. But anyway.
What are you doing, boy?
Howdy, y'all.
Good evening. Sorry.
Howdy, little puppy.
Well,
oh, look,
hello,
it's
Lefty.
fearless leader. We're not worthy.
Oh, I think we are.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Trying to figure out what to smoke.
Good question. What's on the menu?
Johnny, have you seen what's his name?
Yes, I see him every day.
Liz, you were starting to tell us a story too. I want to hear about your story.
Oh, okay.
Good, Liz. The name will come to me.
Okay. When it does, stop me. So before you forget.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I had 2 disability or disabled handicap access issues over the past couple days.
Oh, no.
So Friday, I was taking my sister-in-law to lunch for her birthday. It was early, but they're doing something on her birthday. And I called the restaurant to find out if they were handicap accessible. And absolutely 100% handicap accessible. I pull into the parking lot on Friday. There were 2 handicap spaces at the back of the building behind the restaurant. There was absolutely no obvious way to easily access the building. In the front, there were 5 steps. They weren't terrible. They were about 4, maybe 5 inches, but they were still tough to get into. The restaurant itself was incredible. The food was amazing. This is a restaurant that's been around probably at least 50 years. It was around when I was in high school.
What town is this?
I'm sorry? You're on
What's the
mute.
name of the restaurant?
What town is this in?
This is in Woodbridge, by the way.
What restaurant is it? What's the name?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Okay.
Strawberries.
And it's a very good restaurant. I would give it 5 stars all the way if it wasn't for, and there was nothing visible to show any accessible way. There was nothing. There were 2 handicap spots all the way behind the building. And so, you know, it was a challenge. I mean, steps stymie me. You know, steps are very rough, and inclines, like, you know, just inclines are very, very hard for me. And I don't use the scooter much. I used it Saturday. But, you know, for just jumping out and going to a restaurant, I usually, I don't use the scooter.
What if you had your scooter? How would you get in with your scooter?
I wouldn't have been able to.
There's no kitchen entrance or no.
Nothing that was visible.
Usually they like to let us in by the garbage. Like, oh yeah, go by the garbage.
That's exactly. It was right next to the dumpsters. That's exactly what it was. And
Best seat in the house.
And what were you walking? You were walking with a cane?
No, what I did was I went around and pulled up right in front of the door where there was an empty space. And then, I pulled myself up the stairs and got in. And had a really amazing lunch. It was really so good.
So
that's the sucko part about it, because I'd love to go back there.
So you pulled yourself up?
Yeah, that's how I have steps coming into my house, and that's the same way, you know, because I go to physical therapy a couple of times a week, because my goal is to be able to walk up steps like a normal person.
Okay.
Because my quads, you know, from being on the long-term prednisone, I've been on prednisone for 8 straight years, and it weakens my quads. And, besides the fact that I have, a fracture in my L4 and no disc between L5 and S1, my back's a hot mess. The hip
You ever
replacement.
tried using a bike?
Huh?
Like, you ever tried using one of those incline stationary bikes at the gym or the physical therapy place?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do 10 minutes every time I'm there, and I do the leg presses, and I do the steps, the little steppy thing.
Sure.
And then I do a balance beam because my balance is off, and especially now with my sinuses, I'm all clogged the hell up. So anyway, that was that. That was Friday. So Saturday we went to the NJ dispensary takeover, which I used my scooter for. They had 2 events going on. This was the wildest thing. They had 2 events going on. One was a car enthusiast show. And on the other, that was in one parking lot. And then on the other side, on the hotel side, was the 420 dispensary. Well, about 9 o'clock, those, as I called them, alcohol and testosterone infused car enthusiasts were getting a little mouthy with each other. While stoners kind of just stood there and kind of watched it. 7 police cars later, they were there for the cars, not for the stoners. And that says a lot. It really does. Now, to the accessibility. It's a Sheraton. It was a fucking Sheraton. Now, you would think a company that big, it would be a no-brainer. Again, I called, which this is a new habit now. I have to call before I go somewhere to find out if they're accessible. It sucks. There are dispensaries I can't get into. And so I called them, and yes, we are 100% handicap accessible. I said, all your event spaces are handicap accessible? Yes, blah, blah, blah. Bathrooms, so on and so forth. Okay. The takeover had about 70 plus vendors, and they had an indoor and an outdoor venue. Indoor, beautiful, very crowded. The room was a lot smaller than I anticipated, but you could still get around. However, couldn't get out there. Outside was not handicap accessible. So what we did, I had one of my
Why?
partners.
Wait. I don't understand why. What was blocking your accessibility?
Stairs, several sets of stairs.
Going
Several walls.
To go into this Sheraton itself?
No, not to go to the Sheraton, to go to the outdoor portion of the venue. So what I had to do, wait a minute, what I had to do was I went out and around the building to where this gated outdoor venue is, and they had a gate there that you could get in through, which was okay. To get to that gate was about 15 feet of a broken little bit of a curb.
It's a blunt ride.
And a rock terrain. Huh?
That was a dog walker.
It's a blunt ride.
Let me tell you, I spent Sunday in bed. Like I went through it. I was determined. There was a fucking 3-foot raw filled pre-roll cone. Yeah. Okay, and it was going around. To get in, all right, you're on the grass, and there's like a little curb step, or you could go around the other side where there were 2 or 3 steps. And then it just kept going up and up. And then the next level had 3 steps, and the next level had 5 steps, and then you went down 7 steps or something like that. That's what I was told because I couldn't get there. And I would say about 50% of the vendors were outside, and outside was where you could smoke. I missed out on
Bullshit, Liz. Some bullshit right there.
Oh yeah, you pay for the ticket, you pay for the event. Now I talked to the people who held the event, and I don't really hold them as accountable. Because they check and ask, and the problem is the employees don't know what full handicap accessibility really means.
Do a walkthrough. Usually, I do a walkthrough. When you have an event, you do a walkthrough. You say, okay, can wheelchairs get in here? And then we can't have the event here. Then the wheelchairs, no event. Sorry, but no, we didn't get that. So whoever ran that event, sorry, you screwed up.
But I think it's both of them. And by the way, Sheraton's now owned by Marriott. I did not know that. I have an email all prepared. I just am trying to find now a corporate email address, and they won't give you a goddamn thing. I was on the phone with them almost an hour yesterday, and she kept saying, well, when was your reservation? I said, how many times did I have to tell you? I did not have a reservation. I did not stay there. I was there attending an event.
Well, there's nothing that we can do for you. Goodbye.
Okay, well, I can give you the general manager's number. I'm like, no, this goes a lot higher, and I'm like, I need to speak to somebody in corporate. That's all there is to it.
Can I speak to somebody smarter, please? That usually works.
Yeah. I'm like, can I speak to your supervisor? And she was going to transfer me to another department who would be better able to assist me. So they transferred me over. I'm sitting there for like about 15 minutes, and then the phone goes dead. I'm like, motherfucker. So I was very busy yesterday. So I worked till like almost midnight, and I was like, you know what? I'll deal with this tomorrow or Wednesday. So tomorrow, I'm gonna be on the warpath. But this is totally unacceptable. Do you know how much I lost out in just networking and catching up with some of my partners who were outside that I couldn't get to? Not to mention that 3-foot pre-roll. Like the Sheraton owes me a filled with premium, like Snoop Dogg weed, filled 3-foot pre-cone
Who
or a
put
cone.
this event together? Who ran this event?
One of the dispensaries. It was their first time doing it.
You know,
I'll
maybe
look. I'll
maybe you
tell
got
you.
maybe there was a silver lining to that. You know, that you didn't get to smoke the 3-foot joint. Because how many people would have smoked on it before you?
Well, very true. But when it's something like that, you know.
No, I understand
No,
completely.
you're
I'm just
right.
saying
You're right.
with your health and that thing that they posted on the CRC website about sharing things and stuff.
Yeah, you need a joint condom.
But with joints, I got my tar tubes. Where
Exactly.
you put your, and I just take off my filter. I could pass it to you. You could have your own filter.
Personal.
Yeah. These are incredible. Obviously, they don't have one for a 3-foot pre-roll. But
You need
I
like a
know the
Poland
owner. I'm
Springs water
partners with
bottle.
them. I sell them. And they're just like, if you could see how much tar is not going in your lungs with these things, you'd probably not smoke again. They're working on one for blunts now, so that'll be coming, and you can actually use them in a bong with a 14 millimeter bowl. Yeah, but you're right. You're absolutely right, Johnny. It probably the universe unfolds as it should.
I mean, during the pandemic, I had something that amounted to putting it over the end of the joint or in it, where none of that was really near. And, I just take it, put it on.
Hey, Kathy.
And do that. Yes, I brought a guest with
Special guest.
All the way from the living room.
Kitchen.
Better the living room than the kitchen. Let's not be, sexist.
He's always in the house.
I wasn't trying to be that.
No, but that's okay because I was pretty, I was pretty detailed on the, testosterone and alcohol induced.
But you're not wrong.
No, yeah, I'm not wrong. But it was just I stood there and everybody's just hanging out, chilling, watching it all go down. Like it ain't that serious, people. I don't know what the fuck you're all doing. And I went back inside, and you couldn't smoke inside. But that's with any building, and it's not about smoking pot; it's about smoking. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So outside was the place to smoke. I did get some bud from the professional rollers.
You know what I would do if I were you? I would start a paper trail. Start sending them all emails. Start with the Sheraton. Start with the person you talk to at the desk. Go to the management, okay, in that particular Sheraton, the dispensary whose event it was, because it was really their responsibility to make sure everything was going to be good for their participants.
Yes,
and just keep it going, until you get to who you want to get to. I would even find a local newspaper. Oh,
yeah,
we don't have newspapers anymore.
I really, while I want to do that, and I will as far as going through the Sheraton, but I'm a little hesitant. I don't want to start pissing off dispensaries. And I know they changed event planners mid event, so I know there was a change in whatever. But I don't want to piss off dispensaries at all. I don't want to criticize them, even though they did have responsibility. But they also emailed me or direct messaged me as soon as they saw my post, and took full responsibility. They were so apologetic.
You know what they should do? They should call us and apologize, because I'm pissed off hearing this story, and they need to calm me the fuck down, because that's some bullshit, Liz.
It is.
You want to be good cop?
You mess with one board member, you mess with all of us.
Because that's fucked up. That's fucked up. So let them call our show, and we'll talk to them. And they can apologize and maybe have a learning moment. Over
Well, I said, and the thing was, I was a ticket ambassador for them. The list
Yes,
lights up discount.
Even more so because of that. Here you were working for them, and they're not listening.
They should have put
I don't know
your
if it's that
scooter
they
on their
weren't listening
shoulders.
or if they just weren't paying attention. Either way.
Could be both.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between listening and hearing.
Oh, there's a huge difference.
Ding.
And notice I didn't go.
You better watch out.
You're gonna be sleeping in the garage.
Mm-hmm. We got your back, Kathy. Don't you worry.
We don't have a garage. It would be the shed I built. Yeah. With a lawnmower.
Semantics.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that a corporation as big as they are really dropped the ball on that.
Well, how big is the United States Post Office? And they don't have handicap accessibility in my town. There's 3 steps.
And don't forget those police stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, Linden Police Station.
And people don't understand until they're in that position. And I will totally admit I was one of those people. I would never park in a handicapped spot. But, I would see people and they look like they would be walking fine. And I'm like, well, why do they have a handicap? But you never know what people are going through. People can have lung condition. People can have heart conditions. You can't judge the handicap community and you can't not think about them. We have the same rights as everybody else, and trying.
Earlier when you mentioned, all I really want to be able to do is walk upstairs and like nobody noticed or whatever.
Yeah, like left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
I understand how you meant it through my own personal experience when Kathy cart me around on the back seat because that's where my injured legs had to go. And if you want coffee, oh please, but I can't get out. And I'd sit there and watch people, not their legs, their torsos, and it was like they were just gliding around everywhere.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk at all. And then what it was is the goal was to be able to walk in, get a cup of coffee, and walk out, and nobody. Exactly what you were saying. Only I had a way easier goal than you do.
Well, I was sitting in the kitchen one night. This was last summer.
Okay.
And we like to eat outside and we like to be outside. And we made dinner and I sat down for a minute. My daughter took it outside. And I just, she opened the back door and there she went. Boom, 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 down the stairs. And I'm like, oh, man, what I wouldn't give to be able to do that.
My real experience, the one that will always stick in my head was, I guess it had been a year or something. And it was going to an Asian buffet, and there was going to be a free walk, a free walk across open space. And I was practicing that in the house, and then we got a seat like way over. How long can you free walk, Jim? All the way over to the buffet. Now the buffet, you can kind of lean on one a little bit, and you're expected to walk slow. And when you have a plate, you're expected to walk slow. But I can't like mosey like this on the way over. I wanted to blend in. And it was really frightening. But the most terrifying thing I ever felt when I sat down and nobody fucking noticed. Nobody noticed, man. So yeah, I hope I'm rooting for you. It's a lot harder going up the stairs. I'll give you that. But that's literally a healthy goal.
And it's really hard with my quads because, they tell me they're just not going to get any better, but I'm pushing it. Like when I do my bike, I keep pushing it higher and higher. Or the leg presses.
Don't go up on the numbers. Go up on the time, the duration.
Well, they give you a set amount of time in PT. So I was thinking about getting one of them little, bicycle things under my desk.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
those are
one of
pretty
those.
good.
Yeah, they advertise.
But I do exercise at home. I do my toes up here, So I do exercises, and I honestly feel like it's helping. Not as quickly as I would like, but nonetheless, I am seeing very, very slow progress. And then sciatica will hit and throw everything off the charts, and I got to start back.
Yeah.
I had bilateral knee replacement surgery, so I can only walk as fast as my knees will let me. I can't do anything more than that.
Right then.
And I have to remind everybody of that. Stop walking. You're all walking fast. Just remember, I'm back here. I also, broke my neck. So I get what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
I had to figure out how to get upstairs, and you go up backwards, right?
Well, I just, I do this.
Yeah, I didn't do that. What I did was I would sit on the step and just, push myself up that way. And it sucks, but nobody cares. I told you I live in this building is 3 years old. There's no wheelchair accessibility.
I can't believe that. Is that even legal? It blows my mind.
It's Jersey.
I helped Brian Cummings get up the stairs.
You know.
Brian Cummings went up the stairs the same way at the columns, it's called. He wanted to make a point.
Columns, yes. I used to go there too.
And we did a little video of it and everything. And it was hot, but that was it, and I would have to help him get his legs up and all that. And then he would be able to sit like a normie. He's like, oh, could you put my, I think he had crutches. Could you put these away where nobody could see him, please? And then he was sitting with us on the terrace overlooking the ocean, having a bite to eat. And nobody knew that he needed crutches. So that was his, so he would definitely understand, But then when you said, that way of getting up the stairs, and then I think of Jackie Rickert, who the late great Jackie Rickert, who the Wisconsin Bills were all named after. And I would help her in Wisconsin get up to the third floor of Gary Stewart's walk up. And it was the same thing every time. She wasn't heavy. She was very frail, but she had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and reflective sympathetic dystrophy.
Ehlers-Danlos, I have that.
Yeah, and
I know that too.
You didn't want your joints would come out of socket.
Yes,
real easy,
yes. And you smack them back in.
And cannabis made all the difference in the world for her. So, you got to watch how you help a person up the stairs. So we settled on, and she'd do whatever I asked. So, she'd be there and she could handle standing a hand on a car or something like that. And she could walk with crutches. But to get up the stairs, I'd get in front of her and I'd bend down so she could lean over me and put her arms over. And then I'd walk hunched over because all her weight then is right over my spine straight down. I'm good. And I can go upstairs a whole lot. But
fireman carry.
She had to pay a price though. She had to try to keep a straight face because what I would do is in front of her, when I bend over, I go, I'd yell as best I could, and it didn't matter who was around either. She knew that's going to happen. And
you sure you like this guy?
Yeah, I would walk up to the building like that, she I had my because she hold on. I mean, I didn't have to hold on to her, and I do the trunk thing, And I don't know. There's a lot of versions of the same story, I mean, there just is.
Yeah. Yes.
And here's one. I made him pay a little bit, Lefty, when I got Cheryl to the White Dog Cafe. It's like a brownstone in Philadelphia, the first all natural electricity thing, and felt real conscious, and they have a storyteller every month. So Cheryl's a storyteller, and I had to get her there, and I had to get a motel right nearby so I could push her in. It was cold too, and so this would be good. We'd be fresh. We went through all that, and I put like 2 Afghans on her to keep her warm because you can breathe through them. It was cold, and the thing's laying down, and there's no way to get in, and it's like there's steps. And I wasn't even aware of that, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I go on in and say, like, we're here, you know. And so they had it on, and I wasn't gonna. It's not my time to take issue, you know. We're there to get her in. So it was like they had 4 people to carry the wheelchair up, and they moved because on the way in, the dining room's through. There's a bar along one side, tables on the other, and not a lot of room in between, you know. So it was sort of like an awkward beginning. But when I said I made them pay a little bit, is when I got back out. It looked like a homeless person stopped a wheelchair there and put a couple of Afghans over a pile of shit they're carrying around. I mean, it wasn't like they were expecting a person in a wheelchair. Hi, can you carry me up? I don't know what they were expecting, but it looked like that. So I went by and I said, well, listen, say hi to Cheryl. And I pulled the first Afghan back, went, holy shit, I forgot her. And I actually thought they'd be laughing. They looked freaking horrified for a second, you know? I mean, I guess I can be a pretty good actor.
Very convincing.
Trying to make her laugh and all, you know. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the time I was stretching her at the racetrack parking lot on the way So I had to put her back, and I couldn't get up there. You know, I didn't have a car. I couldn't open a door and get a wheelchair up. So I opened the trunk, wheelchair would be back there. I'd have to bend her over. I mean, like, and really work it around. And the thing is, it's quiet. And it's a night where, you know, there's 2 people walking in, they got to walk right by. And there's nothing else going on. And, you know, I kind of like did things to humor Cheryl, give her a cause to laugh. And I'm pretty good at it. So, like, I feel sorry for these people. I wish I could apologize, you know, because, like, they were walking by, and all I did is, well, pushing her over is, how do you expect me to fit her in the trunk if I don't fold her properly? Because I was like pushing her down, and she was almost like 90 degrees. And then the only sound she made, I think she was trying to laugh, but you can't get much air when you're down there. And it came out as this really squirrely sound that made me, anyway, you know, I should have said I'm so sorry about that to her or something, because, you know, they could be paying for therapy for all I know. I don't know.
Listen, sometimes humor is the best therapy, and people, you know, so you have to have a open-minded sense of humor.
Yeah. Well, and in a way that the other person would receive it is like really paramount. So, like, if I had a healthcare chore ready to go and it took snapping some gloves on to do it, you know, I would say, okay, gonna get ready. And I'd take out a cassette player we had, and I would have something like queued up. And then I'd take the Arsenio Hall stance, a wide hit, you know, the whole thing, and I'd get there, and I'd have the whole hospital tray of what I needed ready. And she knows what's coming, and she's like smiling, you know. It's a very unceremonial process, you know. And so what I would do is I'd have a ball stuffed, you know, and I'd say, okay, and I'd take one toke and I go, yeah. And I would do that for somewhere between 3 and 8 tokes. It depended on the job at hand, I guess, you know. And at some point I would exhale and go, I'm going in. And I'd hit the cassette, and it would just be Leonard Skinner. I don't know why but that seemed to work best for her reaction. So, you know, just thought I'd regale you with that, you know.
You know,
Thanks, Jim.
You know, and Lefty, you correct me if I'm wrong with this. Okay, so Liz is talking about, you know, she's talking about a Sheraton. So being that the Sheraton was in this particular city or town, whatever it was, don't you go to the city about that? Because that's where the building is.
I didn't even think about that.
It was built before 1990, so it's grandfathered in, most likely.
Yeah, I think it was there before 1990.
Oh, okay.
I gotta look.
Yeah, it'd be worth finding out.
Our
Yeah,
guest the other day,
absolutely.
who was our guest the other day? Chris, was his name Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said it doesn't matter though. They should be able to fix that anyway, and he can
Yeah.
fix
They
it.
should
But the
have to.
thing is, it's on a hill, a grassy hill that they've paved part of the way so that they can, put tables or whatever, have a nice outdoor wedding, whatever, but pretty doesn't do me any good.
Yeah, Liz, you're too nice. You're too nice. I'll be the bad cop in this situation.
Yeah, no.
Is that the one right by the Woodbridge Mall?
Yeah, it was down in, no, not in the Woodbridge Mall. It was down in Raritan Center.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And it was right as you went in. But I'll tell you something. I really got a tickle out of those drunk car guys. Like, they were so pumped over, I don't know what. There was one guy, he had 10 batteries in his car batteries in his trunk. That car was weighed down, but every one of them he was using for something. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, other than, the accessibility, I had the most amazing time. I did get to network with, some people that I wanted to meet. There were others that I didn't get to meet that I wanted to meet because they were outside. And of course, it wasn't their fault. So, now I got a bit of homework to do to catch up on, people that I did want to talk to. But I did meet some people that I've been trying to connect with.
Actually, it's up to everybody. It's up to every vendor. If you're a vendor going into a place where where's the handicapped people? Where's my handicapped friends going to come to my table? They can't get to my table. And all the vendors got together and said, hey, there's no handicap access. Then all the vendors have to be put somewhere where there's handicap access. So every vendor has to be aware of this stuff too, because you're losing money as a vendor.
And, honestly, it would have been better if they did it in the parking lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
It would have been so much fucking better if they just did the outdoor part in the back parking lot where all the, because when you went around the building, there was a parking lot, and that's where all the food trucks for the car show were at. They weren't even on the side with the car show.
Liz, Kathy wants to ask you a question.
Were you alone all this time?
No, I did bring one of my partners with me, and God bless him, he had to push me up that makeshift curb, that broken rocky terrain. Man, I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I can't drive roads like this. Like, I have a broken back, you dumbass. You shouldn't have been trying this shit.
Do you generally go with somebody when you go places?
Always.
You have my permission.
No, because I need somebody to set up my chair.
Right. Good.
And honestly, I have no license for the damn thing. And I've gotten it caught on tablecloths, so I'm putting the sign on the back. Actually, I have it. I'll have to show you. Hang on. I thought this was cute as hell. Just hang on a minute.
We're not going nowhere. I might stuff a bud while you're doing it, but I'll be right here.
Speak for yourself, Jim.
Oh, look at that. Rolling Stone.
That's good.
So I'm going to laminate it and put some command strips and put it on the back of my
El Rabador needs that.
And then, as I make up different ones, I could change it out, but.
Yeah, can El Rapador have one of those for his wheelchair?
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Johnny, maybe we could make some kind of thing where lyrics where Papa was a rolling stoner, wherever he laid his hat, he forgot, or something.
That's a good idea.
And how he couldn't get up the stairs because you could really go off with this.
And I wasn't the only one. There was someone in an fully electric chair. And then there was another person in an old fashioned rolling wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
They were executing people there?
No.
Okay, so we have to create awareness for that issue. We also need to create awareness about the cannabis issue in church. Now, Jim, I know how you feel, and you're going to be a little upset when you hear this. I was upset when I heard it, and I'm a little upset not having to play this, but I'm going to write a letter about this. Maybe as a board, we should write a letter to stop stigmatizing medical cannabis patients in the church. And I'll explain why in a second. You'll see why I'm saying this, because
that doesn't disturb me terribly right now.
It does.
I mean, I get it. It does disturb. It's I have roots in being disturbed by shit like this.
Papa was a rolling stoner.
Wherever he is
tolerating or making excuses for. Let's just take a moment and sit with that question. It's going to be different for each of us.
Who is he?
That's the pastor
Okay.
of Liquid Church.
Is it violent video games? Raunchy
Pastor
romance
Tim.
novels? After service, I had a woman come up to me. She said, you know what it is for me? I heard God saying this to me, but I was like, I'm not sure. She goes, can I confess this to you? I said, you can. She said, I like to smoke a little weed. She did. And she goes, you know what it was? It's legal now, and it's sort of this like gray area. But then I asked myself the question, is it drawing me closer to Jesus or pulling me away towards the world? I know, it's got to go. It's got to go. And so we prayed together that God would even give her the desire to break up with that. I want you to take this question and ask the Holy Spirit to guide you, because the answer is going to look different for each of us. If you want to live a holy life, you got to break up with the world and live like you actually belong to.
Wow.
Well, so why doesn't he break up with the world and shut the fuck up?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
You
really.
know? I mean, that's how you break up. You don't break up with somebody. They call them every goddamn night. You shut up and you leave.
And you want to know something?
Wait a minute. This was during Cannabis Church?
No. This is a local church. This is my pastor, and he doesn't like weed. And I tried to educate him on my situation, how I got off opiates using it, but he stigmatizes cannabis all the time. And
He's
maybe
going to hell.
as a board, we should write a letter, because he judged that woman. He judged that woman immediately.
Well, you know what bothered me? He smirked. It was that he did a little smirking thing, and it was subtle.
Yeah, it was. I saw it.
It was disrespectful as all shit, with no consciousness of what that would mean to somebody that would pick on that in their presence, as an example. You know,
That's why I stopped going to church.
So I agree. Let's draft a letter and send it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a board, because it stigmatizes patients. He's always stigmatizing patients. It's in the Bible.
I like to stigmatize pastors. No, I'm dead ass serious. I do not believe, I totally believe in God, and I am a religious person, but I do not need to go to a specific building to pray. I do not need to go to a specific building to talk to God. And I think the organized religions are all about the money. It's a business. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. I mean, it's just my opinion.
Tax-free business.
Yeah. Yeah, tax-free business. That's what I think.
I got embarrassed out of church going to a Catholic midnight mass, because I was in high school and a lot of girls went there, and there was like an overflow thing where they had a band. I mean, it was started at 11:30, and you welcomed in, I guess, midnight mass. I guess it was Christmas Eve into Christmas. It was like, so the first part was, and then the second part was actually Christmas. And I wasn't forewarned that they had two collections. So my friend Walt had a $1 bill, and he ripped it in half and folded it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Never mind. So I put $1 in. He put his folded $1 in. And then then the bastard explained to me, because that's all I had. $1 was a lot then, too. You know, I mean, it was. You buy 3 gallons of gas. So he told me about the second collection. And, you know, I was like, and it was a long freaking handle, too. This guy had reach. Because I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, those baskets can be very long.
Face, like.
But I didn't know. I never went to Catholic church. And he had it there. But because it was like 6 feet, it's like freaking bamboo cane or something. Yeah. Not, you know, what do you call it? A wicker.
We know what they look like.
Yeah. So anyway, at the end, it's going like this because it's hard to hold still when you're leaning out like that. And I swear, he left it there, what probably really 12 seconds. And it seemed like 20 or 30. Maybe it was 15. And I'm going like, I mean, I'm doing everything but standing up and turning my pockets inside out, nothing in them, you know? And so the second that he took it away, I got up and left, you know? And I didn't smoke pot yet, so I couldn't even go out and smoke pot.
I have a funny story for you, and it's about the baskets. Okay. Friend of mine, she was getting her confirmation done on the night before Easter. So in the Catholic Church, they do a candlelit, mass, and it's at night, and it's beautiful. It really is. So my husband is a Jew. Okay. So he comes with me to the church because I was going to be this girl's godmother. And, he sat in the back because he had his beeper, you know, and he was on call, and that's when we had beepers. And so they came around with the baskets, you know, and so he had the candle lit too, because everybody had a candle that was lit. So when they came around with the baskets, he threw the candle in the basket because he didn't know.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Another time we were at the cathedral in New York City at St. Pat's, right? It was Christmas time. Okay, it wasn't Christmas yet, though. He tells me, he comes walking back towards me because I was just kind of walking around, and he says to me, somebody stole the baby Jesus. I said, Christmas yet. He wasn't born yet.
You know, that's such a pet peeve of mine. I hate seeing baby Jesus out in creches before, you know, Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, see, people like
anyway,
they're good for a joke. Yeah. That's pretty.
That's good. That was great, Sue.
People have had.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
A somewhat similar experience, you know, being not quite aware of maybe, you know, I could have been the least aware person ever to step into a Catholic church at that point. Kathy went to Catholic school till 8th grade. Man, she seriously messed up at that. That was outside voice. Oh, shit.
You got a fly swatter?
Yeah, I hope it's a fly.
Just
it's the end I get that I'm worried about.
Oh, so I got myself, somebody gave me, it was one of the rolling professionals, gave me a little jar with hash in it.
Oh, wow.
Hash, right?
Good for you.
I am dying to try it. I don't want to do it on my bong, but
I love the smell of it when it burns.
I love hash. I'm a 70s girl, man, and I love hash.
Is it crumbly or hard, or, you know, you got to
you got to heat it up.
Yeah.
When it comes
I'll show it to you.
When it comes off the boats, it's a big bar. Because I used to be on the docks in the city, you know, when it would be in another life, I did that. But anyway, it's long bars, and there's even a stamp on it with what country it was coming from, you know. And yeah, and then you just, you know, you broke it up into pieces.
There's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
What color is that?
It's like a
blonde.
Yeah, like a gold color.
A light golden, yeah. But that's a nice piece of hash.
Kind of looks like batter.
Yes.
Shut up. I got it.
With your
Yeah,
It
accent.
took a minute to get back to me, but I got it.
You have a teeny
Yeah,
little
yeah.
accent.
I
Not
from a
South
different,
Jersey.
yeah, it's for like a different Jersey accent than you
Yes,
have.
yeah.
It could be the New York that's left in me.
What are you telling me? I'm getting recognized in other parts in Mount Laurel, and if I go in a store, he's from somewhere else in New Jersey. It's freaking sick.
Only if you're on that T-shirt. I love that T-shirt, by the way.
Whose t-shirt?
Yours, I guess, not mine.
Mine?
No,
Whose?
your T-shirt's below Jim Miller.
My t-shirt is a Christmas tree. I refuse to give this t-shirt up.
I got a few this weekend or Saturday, rather.
I'm so proud of myself. I just rejected 3 or 4 questionable things to say with ease now. It's like, inside voice. So if I start laughing, it's my inside voice being corralled, and I'm having a hell of a time. I do a potluck fingerful, and I gave some of this bomb to the neighbor because he's a kind of a lightweight. He's from Turkey. He redid the bathroom and everything, and he was hurt his back, and I thought, well, yeah, I'll give you something if it'll get you back tomorrow. You're in the middle of doing this. I mean, he's a great guy. But then he told me today the bomb, the edible. He's like, whoa, oh, it's real.
You felt better.
Expensive, yeah. No, he really, but he kind of liked it. He was glad he took it at a time when he was going to sleep anyway. And then what I wanted to do is, he asked me if I could get him an ounce because I have a good price and delivery and yada yada. And it was funny because it was at the end of straightening up for the work he did for the retiling of the bathroom. There, you want to see it? Anyway, so I took out a bud for size reference. I said, just try and only take this much, and he goes, oh, that's about half of what I took. I'm like, oh, you had a good reaction. This shit will last you for a while, and he wasn't put off by, he was very interested. So what I did is I got 2 and divided them myself in half, weighed them out. So he had half of each because I didn't know which he would like, and I'm like, okay, tonight try one, and then tomorrow night try another because he'll be working in the day, not doing that. And so it's a good comparison. Otherwise, you're going to like the one you smoke last best, and that's not fair. You can't do them consecutively. You got to. And then I suggested, okay, so take, and then I got a really small, I said just a little less, because if you really reacted in 40 minutes to the bomb, lower that to where you're really not hardly going to feel it. And then 40 minutes later, whether you feel it or don't, take a couple tokes. Then wait for a while longer and take a couple more, and I'll bet you the second 2 get you 3 times higher than the first 2. Because the bomb will be accelerated. That was at a patient's out of a time thing. They had a seminar in California by Mavericks there. What is that called? Anyways, a really, really nice place. And it was the first time I saw there's a graph of how high you get in about edibles, and it's like a turtle back looking thing. And then here's a graph of getting high on some really, it's like a straight up almost, and then down on an assumed angle. I mean, it's representational. But anyway, where it intersects with the turtle back, which is still getting a little higher, and it comes down and hits that, the combination becomes, the third, they from there composite it where it would be in between. And I don't care how accurate it is, it really put it in a visual perspective that I could understand, and thought, well, then you're telling me I can do that and I'll smoke less, but I'll be able to control the high with a toke or 2 here and there. And I got to tell you what, when I got to get yard chores done and I go out for one, I never guarantee that's the one I'm going to do. My object is, have a plan. but I let the edibles take hold, like first a little bit, and then I go out and I start and I kind of gravitate to whatever, but then I get into the flow, and it's just sort of like it's where I belong, and it's systematic, and I'm thinking about it, and everything's clear, you know. And then when I get tired a little bit, I stop, I take one toke, you know, maybe drink of water, and I'm right back. So I really do like a combination of the two.
That's exactly what I did today, except I really didn't need to come back, you know, for a hit here and there. I was reviewing a Savvy RSO gummy, and it was a macro dose. Looked like a little chocolate bar, but like white gummy. You know, I'm a heavy hitter when it comes to edibles. I need a lot because I don't have a gallbladder and I have a very high tolerance. So usually I would do 100, but because this was RSO, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stick to 60 and, you know, see if we take flight. Didn't take flight, but let me tell you what a great, I was focused all day. I got so much shit done, and I got it done without any pain whatsoever. It lasted about a solid 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome.
I could have done the whole 100. I totally could have done the whole 100.
You might not have gotten so much work done, though.
I got cleaning done. I caught up on my High Times cannabis cup reviews because I was like really behind on those. So I caught up on that. I got some cleaning done, some organization. I was like, I was on point.
How long do you have for that judge's kit to send it back?
Huh? I got about 5 more days. You don't send it back. You just don't finish the, you know.
No, I mean, like, how long do you have to, like, do the judge's kit or whatever and then send your results in?
They extended it. It's another 5 days left, but they extended it because the judging kits came out late. So honestly, I have like 5 more sativas to judge. Everything else I've judged. I'm all done.
So I'm a terrible judge, you know, and when Lefty, you certainly remember the big nice contest that we had at the State House out by the road when there was about 6 or 7 different growers there, you know, and they had their stuff, and I was going to be a judge, but then, you know, I decided I'd defer to somebody that might be a good judge because I've been a judge at some of the New York events, and I suck at it. Every one, the last thing I tried was the best every time. And after about the 3rd time, I realized that's not a coincidence. I mean, it's like, oh, this one really got me high after the one before it, after the one before it, after the one before it. Oh, you know, so like I suck at it, and it's okay, you know. I like living vicariously off other people's opinions that are, you know, kind of give me a better direction than my own would be. And that's a little bit sad because back in the earlier, way earlier days when I was in college, I was considered the one that you would want to take with you to try something because it'd be you want to try it. And I would get taken there because I had a 3-toke scale. You know, and everybody trusted it. I don't even know if it was good. I trusted it because if they trusted it, I figured it was real. Maybe it was all power of suggestion. I just got high for a lot when somebody needed to, you know, buy something. And, but, you know, whatever. You know, I like this. What is it? Have no idea. You know, I wonder how it goes with 2 more cups of coffee this time of night before I eat dinner.
I do the same thing though. I have an ashtray full of stuff that I have no idea. You know, it's like I'll have just enough left.
Well, when I get something I really like above it, I mean, same thing. I'll use what I have that I like best, I mean, if it's not a matter of morning or evening, what do I want to do with it? So I'll use that best, and then that leaves some stuff not getting used, and then after a while, there's like this tale of stuff that's what is this? What is this? What is this? But then when it comes time to make balm, it's still very, very useful in balm because it was all good in the first place and it's all being kept well,
Well, what I've been doing, especially with this judging, most of the flour came in 1 gram packets. I think 2 or 3 of them actually, contributed a full 1/8. So, I was grinding them up and, it was just a little bit more than enough for a 1 1/4 roll pre-roll. So I just started collecting the what was left after I filled a cone, and I wound up with quite a collection of salad weed. It's all mixed together: the sativas, the indicas. It's a nice little pile.
Yeah, nice.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
I was impressed with Ken and me and somebody else went to High Times office in New York when Rick Cusick was a member of the board at the early CMMJ.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're meeting in there, and we went off into one of the rooms where I guess they would meet, and they had like a mason jar, a mayonnaise jar, a little bit bigger, that was maybe 7/8 full of joints, half joints, not roaches necessarily. And, when you don't have any, it's like, holy shit. So we had a meeting where as much as I wanted to smoke, I could. And I was like a little freaking kid there while they're having a can I do it? But the coolest part is when we were walking in and we were going by these things in the Patty Duke theme song,
Uh-huh.
And I walked into the office for some reason singing it, and Rick Cusick jumped right up and came right up to me and started snapping his finger, and we sang it together. And he knew more words, so whenever I bogged down for a second, it's like you get right back in, But he was the one that did.
He had your back, Jack.
It was just kind of fun,
He had your back, Jack.
I thought you might like to know.
I just wanted to bring something up. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's been we had him on the show, Dave Sandamino, out in California. And he was going to come back on the show, but all the cultivators out there are really having a hard time. It's horrible. So, he had a really nice business going. He's been in California probably for 30 years now. And as a grower. And he said he had to get a real job. He's got 3 kids, they live up in Big Sur.
Wow.
And he just said, everybody is scattering.
Wow, it's hard to hear. I know
it is. I know.
I mean, I understand the ramifications. I'm not saying, I had to get a job, how that disrupts what was the norm for all that time.
Yeah. All that time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All that time. That's a huge deviation.
Yeah. And especially for someone like him, because he's such a, low key.
Yeah, I remember.
Sweet guy.
I remember him.
But yeah. So that's what I've been hearing from others also, but not as in depth as he and I were talking. So it's I guess they're going to need our support, and I saw that your president is starting to push again with the Schedule 3. So
I read that this morning.
Yeah, so that's going to affect all.
I didn't hear that at all. I'm still reeling from the bow gain The way he
The
played,
Ibogaine, yeah.
No, but I know, but he was like reading out the announcement and why this is working in this study at Stanford and everything, and therefore the ibogaine. Then he said it again and goes, "Am I saying it right?" And yes, sir. Behind him. And well, I was watching. I get my news on Jon Stewart's show on Comedy Central from Monday night. It is a good replay. But what he was saying about it was he's really behind it, and he's gone so far out on a limb. It'll be fast tracked. I mean, he's way beyond a statement. It's I've directed and I've done that.
He was pleading.
Sticking up for veterans.
He was. That's what they said. They said he is pleading with whoever to please get this thing through. I think he just wants to get rid of it and off his desk. He's getting sick of hearing about it.
To be clear, this thing is ibogaine or scheduling. This thing that he's, because he's doing two different
scheduling.
things.
No, the scheduling he's trying to get off his desk. The ibogaine just
that's the new one, but it's the ibogaine one.
The ibogaine, I just heard about him being interested in that recently.
Well, what he's doing is finally, and unfortunately, learning that he could play a card like, look what I'm willing to do for veterans who have given their all for this country, and now they're having trouble adjusting, and it makes it 80 to 90% better. In other words, he's just trying to mollify other shit going wrong with a plus for him. It has nothing to do with veterans.
Because he is going to institute the draft. I mean, it's already it's already an automatic when you turn 18 years old that you are
right. That's right.
You're on the list.
So basically, though, if you get drafted and you go into the service and you get messed up in the head, when you get back, you can have ibogaine. It's like a circle jerk.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see our army when they enlist the draft.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you know what? Young people need to get out there, just
Facts.
like we did, and they're not out there.
Yeah, the draft was around when we were, young.
Give them kids a rake and a broom.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. And you know what else I think? I think we should take the people in jails that are there for life, send them over, drop them off.
You'll never see them again, and they'll kill more or do more damage.
I say let the politicians fight it out.
I second that.
I say let's put the government on strike and withhold their pay. Their pay.
They do that in some countries. They fight it out. Their Congress, in some Asian countries.
Where do we get to vote on that?
I want to vote on that.
Yeah, what else can I do? I agree.
How do we close the federal bank?
We all got to do. We got to all get together and. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, and one thing I forgot to say. This concludes our podcast.
Come on, Johnny, you got better. Take a shot.
This concludes our podcast.
Oh, that was a good pause, and you got the R podcast. So,
can Kathy do it? Can you ask Kathy to do it?
Oh, I knew you were going to do that.
Well, I was just give it a shot.
This concludes our. Where are we?
Podcast.
I knew where we were.
That wasn't bad.
Podcast.
That was great, Kathy. That was great. It should be our official.
Hey,
Could you call in every day and be our Wayne Barini?
Well, this is because he doesn't have the Wayne's thing, but boy, he had it all yesterday. And it was like he was really having fun with all sorts of the sound effects yesterday.
You eat it.
Playing them like with
you eat it.
Johnny, which was the version of Power to the Patients that was the most rock and roll? It had like a rock and rollish sort of sound, not rhythm, not R&B. There was one. It was Power to the Patients. It wasn't or was it Let's Roll? Or there was one I really like. I'll watch the podcast. I'll watch the replay. I'm sure Lefty has it up. Yeah, but I think it was. You said one of them was on Pandora. You said which one? Was
Yeah.
that?
Power to the Patience, but the other one was Dab of the Beach. That one was the
Yeah,
rock and roll.
yeah. I like that. Okay, what was that?
That was that's part 2 to Power to the Patience. That's
okay. And what was that? Dab of the Beast.
Yeah, Dab of the Beach.
Yeah.
So thank you, CMMNJ.
Okay.
Thank you, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and Sativa.
Hi, Liz.
No
Hi.
Sad Hatter.
Lefty, you're on mute.
Lefty, you muted yourself.
Did I say CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org?
That was good.
We forgot the Sad Hatter.
Sad Hatter's on this list.
She approves. Kathy's a tough audience, man. I got to tell you, you get her to laugh or go, "Wow, that was good."
Wrong list, Johnny. Wrong list.
Can everybody else hear that sound, or is that just in my like a bum ba? No, seriously, I don't think you all hear it.
I heard it.
Yeah, well, you did because it's coming through my thing.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start our list with Cheryl, Sabina,
These are people.
Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Jackie, Hattie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Wayne, Waxy, Joe Marie, Paul, Jeff.
You miss them all.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. They shall grow
Peace
not
out,
old,
everybody.
as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them. Thank you.